Sai, incredible. That dominant and yet still super nervous. You guys have both been there. It's different than just sitting in the comfort of your own home.
No, it really is. It's this one of those. Nothing can prepare you for it. You can stream for 3 years. You can do this, and when you're up there on stage and you're going up against someone that you've been following for a long time, you literally have some of the most competitive players in a game that's been around for a while now, and it's exciting to see, and it's nerve-wracking. Nothing can prepare you for that. Sai, like you said, he's been playing for 18 hours a day, and still, you never know what can happen.
It's a lack of sleep. That's why he's nervous. And there are the two players waiting up for match 7. Let's bring them to the stage. HiptontyMAK. No shortage of swag. 26 years of age. From Honolulu, Hawaii. Engineering student.
My name is Nick Sumera. My in-game name is HiptontyMAK, and I'm from Honolulu, Hawaii. I found myself competing in one of the local YMCA raw bench press tournaments, and I did, I think, like 3 years in a row. I currently hold the record in the raw bench press. So it can be applied to like video games. Personally, I feel like I'm an underdog, but I think once the competition starts rolling around and I start focusing on the game, I'll do fine.
He doesn't look intimidated at all, and the man that he's going to be facing, KAZUTOMAK111. 20 years of age, from Vancouver, British Columbia, a student as well.
Jack Pitcher. My in-game name is KAZUTOMAK111, and I'm from Vancouver, BC. I'm studying kinesiology in school, which is basically like the sports science. And I chose that because I used to be very competitive in sports. When I was in high school, I suffered a few major injuries, which has unfortunately forced me away from sports. But I still want to be involved in sports. I still love them, so I still want to learn about that and how to possibly prevent injuries for other people.
Well, some would argue that this is blood sport here in the Summoners World Championship Series, as we're just one step away from getting to the World Championships and that $50,000 prize. But first things first, KAZUTOMAK's got to get through HiptontyMAK. We are standing by to get the draft underway. Anything that you guys are expecting out of this clash?
I think this is going to be a fun one. You can kind of tell by the names that these players know each other very well, and they probably play against each other a lot, and now it's just down to those mind games again, like we talked about earlier, and maybe having some fun before the match, saying, oh yeah, I'm going to bring this monster, I'm going to bring that monster, and throwing them off as much as possible.
Wonder how much time HiptontyMAK, given that he's from Honolulu, has spent maybe with Island Grown, one of the well-known casters in Summoners War.
They do know each other. Island Grown did say that he knows HiptontyMAK a little bit, not a whole lot, but he does know him, absolutely.
It's kind of interesting with these two players that are going toe-to-toe. You've got HiptontyMAK, this guy that's huge physically, competes at bench press competitions, and you've got KAZUTOMAK that, unable to, physically perform like that, but yet they're still extremely competitive, and now they're able to go up against something where they're equals, regardless of their physical attributes. So it's kind of exciting to see two players go against each other at this tournament in their current state.
Well, there is the MMA round, losers bracket. No, we're not doing that. As you got a peek earlier at the players still in. And what's this? A little rock, paper, scissors?
It looks like paper beat rock in that one.
Well, we said that they do know each other, and so I don't know if that's like an inside joke or
just having some fun, getting some of the nerves out as well. I would say just between the two matchups, I would probably give this one in Kazuto's favor a little bit, but as you can see here, they're both in the same guild. Kazuto goes with the first pick as Sierra. We've seen that a lot in this tournament so far.
Speed lead, you can build her tanky, she ignores defense with her bombs, it offers control. There's a lot of things that she can offer to a team.
And the answer from HiptontyMAK?
It's an interesting pick, seeing Tessarian picked first before you even pick up unit with an unit passive. So he's really banking on his Raccoon, I think, more than anything. And one of the reasons he's playing Tessarian so early along with Raccoon is because he doesn't want to offer Kazuto a chance to pick the Tessarian. So I could expect HiptontyMAK building a team that's heavily dependent upon passives. Now, KAZUTOMAK knows that, and so maybe he's going to try and take some of those units as well.
It's a good point, taking that Tessarian before Kazuto can take it from him to remove it. But it looks like the Fire Lich is down. Again, another monster we have not seen yet in this tournament. It's going to be a fun one to see how that plays out. These players must know each other a lot better than we do because they're pulling out some interesting units.
So now we have HiptontyMAK actually picking away from something that's passive-based and goes to Ethna.
There's another passive monster with Perna, like you said there, Koopa.
And even though it says like 20 seconds, sometimes it's not enough time to decide who you want to bring in a match like this.
Goes by
especially
really
when
quick.
You're on stage.
You can see Kazuto's face already looking at the monsters and deciding who he's already planning on picking, who he's planning on banning.
We have no immunity buffers on either team. This might be the one of the only matches that we might see today where there's no immunity unit on either team right now.
No immunity, but kind of looking through Kazuto's monster box, you might not necessarily see one. I didn't see the full box as it panned to the right, but as far as immunity buffs, they might not have them.
The accuracy lead and resist lead from both of them kind of canceling each other out. Okeanos and Vrad are going to be very strong here, so we'll see which unit's going to be faster.
Raccoon and Ciara, the bans respectively, as match 7 set to begin.
That is a very fast effort.
Opting for the second skill, taking out some of those defense breaks there.
The violent proc from Tessarian gonna have a chance to get another turn. Might throw it into Verde to try and go for a kill shot.
Verdile, again, a monster that you really see too often.
No, not at all.
Just like that, Perna able to take down Verdile and make it 4 units to 3 in HiptontyMAK's favor. However, that Verdile, or that Verad rather, was already reset by Okeanos, not able to land any of his second or third skill to kind of control the match from there. But Ethna, a lot of damage, but Chao answers right back with a violent proc, and we've seen those Chao violent procs before.
Yes, we have. And here is Rolling Stones from Okeanos. He chose to not play that initially. He went with a skill 2 Okeanos to reset Verad, but it put him in this position where he actually ended up losing one of these units because he didn't go with the stun on the opener. So it was a really interesting choice from KAZUTOMAK to not take that stun option because none of HiptontyMAK's units had immunity, were on will. And so it's kind of a risk that he took.
Yeah, but then he's able to land this full team stun there from Okeanos. However, the violent procs came back. We're able to bring the Perna out of that stun and do a lot of damage. And now I don't think that that Fire Lich isn't going to last much longer. And we'll see though if the Okeanos is going to get a chance to throw that defense break back on. And
yeah, and that's one of the other risks that you take running Fire Lich like that is kind of banking on one of those procs where you get an attack mid-turn and try and get those stuns. And unfortunately he didn't get that. So HiptontyMAK taking the first win.
Looking pretty comfortable.
Dominant fashion, by the way.
Dominant fashion in a weird fashion as well. Like we said, it was an interesting sort of pick ban stage, and on both sides as well. Seeing monsters that you don't normally see with the Fire Lich, and then also Verdile as well.
And what I love about that is it demonstrates that there's, not just one way to approach things. As we see, there's so many common builds that people will pair out.
Now we actually see the reverse effect. We've got HiptontyMAK starting with Ciara and Kazuto starting with Tessa Raccoon, the complete opposite of what we just saw.
And HiptontyMAK taking the Fire Lich as well.
Units.
It's an exact flip-flop so far?
Exact flip-flop so far. However, HiptontyMAK now has Perna, which he had last time as well, but he was able to take the Fire Lich from Kazuto. Whether or not that's a monster that they think is going to be super important to them or not, it just adds a little bit of an RNG factor to their both their teams, actually.
Yeah, I like the choice with Kazuto here to bring the Water Fairy King to potentially get his Okeanos to go first because he knows HiptontyMAK has a really fast Ethna. However, he does not know how fast his Malong is.
Yeah, looks like HiptontyMAK opting out of the Ethna. Hasn't locked in just yet. Goes with Wusa instead of Molong, having a little bit more sustain, having that immunity buff this time where he was lacking it last time against the Okeanos. But
I know both of them did. I mean, HiptontyMAK had the Varad option too, so none of them had immunity. So does KAZUTOMAK choose to go with some kind of immunity buffer? Or? Well, he's got an option for a resist lead if he wants to go that route.
He's got the resist lead, which can be completely important, but he already had Tsarian in there for the resist lead. I would say that Hathor is still a really good option. And here comes the bans, though. Looks like they're in, and he's able to take down the Wusa, which is the main counter to Hathor, really, in this match, and is allowing him to get through and potentially lock down the enemy.
I think KAZUTOMAK's in a really strong situation right now because he's going to be able to open up with his Okeanos. I think his units are going to be a little bit faster than HiptontyMAK, and HiptontyMAK is now in the position where he's relying and banking on Fire Lich to get the interrupt to potentially stop the momentum.
Well, being in a good position, as we've seen, doesn't always guarantee victory in any given game, nor does drawing the first turn. Nadi looked real good in game 1. This game 2, and Kazuto needs to pick up a W here. Looks like the app is frozen right now.
And there it is, Okeanos getting the first turn, even past CR speed lead, and chooses to go with the reset on Annabelle.
Now both players kind of looking at each other and shrugging here. I'm not sure that they're at the controls.
Yeah, I don't think they can see what their monsters are doing, so we might have to reset this one.
Yeah, indeed, we are going to reset it as our tournament officials come over and debrief with the players. And that's going to allow them to approach the draft differently potentially here. This is kind of like...
this was one of the things that we talked about yesterday, that when technical difficulties do happen, there will be officials that are on standby, and they do have a chance to, like, if something bad does happen, like, we just have to reset everything, and that's just one of the risks that I think that everyone is aware of, that when there are technical difficulties like this, there's app crashes, there's lag, they're under the impression that there might be, you know, some kind of disclosed pre-draft, and they might have to learn from that. They might actually constructively have to learn from it. We might see that again later today, so it's just one of the things that in a tournament like this that you'll have to deal with.
The beauties of the live stream, really.
Sure, and it's no one person benefits or suffers from that. It's, you know, obviously the luck of the draw, but it's not skewed in favor of anybody. While we're waiting on the app to get sorted out, we had a chance to chat with HiptontyMAK, who we saw make some unorthodox drafts in the first game. He talked about his favorite units.
Favorite monster is Camilla, because I got her pretty early on, and every time that I've done well, it's been with that monster. And she's been there with me through thick and thin, through all the different metas, and can't live without her.
You know, it's funny when Hypnoti was asked what his style of play is. Pray to RNG. I think that's being a little bit facetious, but RNG is certainly something that nobody's going to say no to at any given moment. Kazuto's favorite monster, by the way, is Rakuni. So interesting that he did not choose Rakuni. I don't think.
No, it's funny that HiptontyMAK said that his favorite monster is Camila, because that's actually my least favorite monster of his when I fight against him. I do not like fighting against HiptontyMAK's Camila when I'm going against him personally. It's extremely well ruined, and it's scary. He has, I think, 2 or 3 of them, like you said, and it's interesting to see like which one he's going to use, which one he has in. At the time, it's all those mind games in between.
Well, Kazuto, given that he's part of that MAK guild, we asked him about the man he's facing off with, HiptontyMAK, as they're preparing to do battle. And I think we're ready to go, so we'll put a pin in that soundbite for you. My guess is it'll be nothing but respect.
See, this time we get to see KAZUTOMAK playing his favorite unit, Tsarian and Rakuni.
Yeah, it looks like it's a exact same mirror of what they were doing last time. However, HiptontyMAK is actually going to change his strategy on the second pick phase.
No Fire Lich.
No Fire Lich. Well, again, he did change it at the last second. He's showing them along right now. goes Molong and Wusa this time.
Wind Unicorn making its first appearance at the tournament.
Heather again very strong, and at this point, again from HiptontyMAK having that second round not having those technical difficulties, you can kind of understand Kazuto's mindset where he's bringing that Hador, he's bringing that Okeanos. He may be looking to ban that Wusa again, and
But HiptontyMAK now in a really solid position with the CR speed lead and also choosing Frigate. He does not want to get outsped by KAZUTOMAK's Okeanos. He does not have his Ethna, which was a really fast unit that he brought in round 1.
Banning out that Hador because he kind of anticipated the Wusa ban, and here we go with the speed lead on HiptontyMAK's team and resistance lead for Kazuto.
We'll cross our fingers for no app crash. There it is. Welcome to the match.
1-0 lead for HiptontyMAK going into game 2.
Defense break right onto the Wind Unicorn. He opts not to use third skill, but almost one hit. And here drops the bomb down on Wind Unicorn. And that Wind Unicorn did not last very long. We didn't see too much play out of that, didn't we?
Unfortunately, not. However, KAZUTOMAK still has a strong team. He has Okeanos rolling into a double stun and can still eliminate some of the passives going for that Perna. If he gets a Vital Proc,
that passive though, that Tsarian doing a lot of damage.
That Wind Unicorn giving us a glimpse of perhaps why it is one of the lesser chosen units.
HiptontyMAK had an extremely strong opener. Almost tough for any unit to survive.
Extremely tough opener, but he has not used a single skill on his Molong yet. He's just defense breaking and defense breaking. He's not using a second skill, he's not using a third skill. So having those two skills still up and ready is a little bit scary.
And for KAZUTOMAK to not having gotten that kill on the Perna with his Tsarian, the Perna just living by a sliver, it is not making it any easier. That Perna needing to die on that attack. And there you see Rakuni just getting the single part of the attack on the Perna to take it down, but comes back to life with full HP.
Finally seeing some skills now from the Molong, able to grab 2 stuns on Okeanos and on Tsarian as well, one of the stronger monsters that are, more important monsters rather, for Kazuto's team. He does have his third skill up. He decides to not use the third skill. Drops a bomb on Okeanos.
Very careful because he doesn't have, a lot of ways to recover that HP on his Molong, but besides the Perna passive field, 4v1 though, HiptontyMAK looking to go forward to the quarterfinals here.
Yeah, the Okeanos took the bomb, and then the third unit went down not long after that.
Solid work by HiptontyMAK in this whole match. Very well done.
A cool customer. Kazuto never really able to get anything going. Getting swept there by Hypnoty. What do you think is to blame for that inability to ever kind of put himself in a favorable position?
It was interesting to see on Kazuto. He never picked a immunity buffing monster. And I'm not sure if he didn't have one or if he didn't think it was important, but most likely that was the main reason why HiptontyMAK was able to have more success in all 3 rounds, or all 2 rounds, but he had better success in the second one because it just made it easier that he had that Wusa in play.
Were you a little surprised, Koopa, that Kazuto didn't make an adjustment?
Yeah, because that HiptontyMAK has got the speed lead. He's going for first turn. He has Molong, so he's got the ability to strip his entire team. And so to try and sustain through that with not even making an attempt to go first. But with some of these guys, when they're farming 10 hours plus and they've been playing for over 2 years, sometimes you just still can't outspeed them.
Yep. All right, let's send it down to Maria Ho, who's standing by with HiptontyMAK.
So once you found out who your opponent was, what was your strategy coming into this match overall?
We actually just did some scrims right before we came on stage, so we wanted to give the fans a better match, so we fought right before the match.
Well, it was awesome to watch. Is there anybody that has made it to the quarterfinals so far that you're kind of looking out for and have an eye out?
I think I was just a little heartbroken about being matched up with my guild leader. So I didn't even focus on the other winners and stuff. So.
All right, well, we'll see you in the next round. Thank you.
A treasonous victory for HiptontyMAK there as he takes down his guild leader, KAZUTOMAK. And we have yet more action still to come. The next matchup.